Well, at least if we see some good hoodwink plays, like if you're running in front, you're smoked up with your team, your smoke pops, you're very likely to know where the opponent is and kind of throw this preemptive bushwhack, which allows you to initiate, which is one of Hoodwink's strengths. You don't need the target to land your ability. Like, it's not like basically you throw an acorn shot and connect it with a bushwhack. You can just throw it into the trees you most likely think the opponent is in, or even have the ward advantage for that. So a very good hero to add into the mix. I don't know much about how this Morphling kind of sits into this picture. You've already got these great tempo heroes on your lineup with Undying Pango Hoodwink really securing this Morphling's game. But I like the Lina pick. I really like this Lina pick against the Tombstone and the nuke damage against the Morph.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
Lina is amazing. You win the lane against the Pango as well. Overall, the Lina was a perfect pick here. Morphling, you pretty much want a hero that lanes well with the Undying, a hero that benefits from crushing the lane, a hero that, while the Undying is making space, gets so many denies, the Morphling goes for that one, and one that can get away if the Marcy does catch you by some means.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why you go for the Morphling. He ticks all of those boxes, and you go for him. And really, Soul Assumption isn't something that you're necessarily afraid of, especially once the level 3 does come out. I think this Lina might be scaring him a bit, and I do want to see like an Ether Lance Axe Lina, because that's the way that you deal with the morph, and naturally this morph doesn't want to build into Lincoln's, so Laguna Blade will usually go through.
Looking at some of these win rates so far, not that many games under their belt, so these aren't very reliable stats. You know, Morphling 1 win, 1 loss. If I quickly check up this Lina, 2 games, 2 losses. You know, like, there's not that many games played on these heroes to actually have like a reliable percentage base theory to adapt into this one. But at least heading into this last phase of hero picks that we need, Lilgun, do they want to shuffle around with a Primal Beast? Are we looking for a traditional physical damage type right clicker for their safe lane? Like, you can see the Lone Druids now, the Monkey King gets banned. Do you want to go for something like, I don't know, Lifestealer against the Morphling? What do you think about that?
Naturally, Morphling likes playing into Lifestealer. Right now, Morphling doesn't really want to turn into any of these heroes. Marcy would be okay. Maybe Visage for the Grave Chill. You know, Lina for the stun. Nothing is great. Right? If you would pick up a Lifestealer, it wouldn't work well. What I would love to see for Lilgun this game is actually a Drow Ranger. I think it would be amazing. It would buff up the Lina, buff up the Visage, deals with the Undying well. The Silence crushes TNC, and it is a direct counter to the Morphling. The hero hasn't been picked for a long time, so I doubt it, but Lilgun is the type of team that can go for that type of a hero, so I'm kind of sitting here hoping, because it would be pretty amazing if they would go for something like that. Of course, we need to see the off lane of TNC, because it might be something that can crush the Drow. But currently, the game would look pretty solid for that hero. So I'm sitting here hoping. But something like an Ursa does come to mind. A BKB hero that can pretty much destroy the Morphling. Doesn't care about the Pango. Deals well with the Tombstone as well. I think the Ursa would be a safe choice for Lilgun, and I know 423 does play it.
One thing I'm worried about for TNC, I see a Mars come out, because the Marcy Visage is a most likely lane duo that's going to be going up against TNC, and we've seen this duo dismantle these heavy hitters but are squishy semi-glass cannon type heroes like PA, for example. No chance you can survive against this combo. A lot of these like alchemists and here such as heroes that aren't able to fight back are very susceptible. So are we seeing something like Undying maybe put as a core, or are we putting safe lane Morphling against this, which could maybe work against the Marcy Visage if you time your morphs in the right time? Do you think Morphling's going to be one now? Because I think it's the most probable hero out of this draft to put there.
It has to be the one now. I thought maybe Undying could go into the offlane with the Mars pick. That's not an option any longer. So I think it's pretty clear cut what TNC are gonna be doing. You know, you want the Undying to secure the lane from the Morphling. Lilgun, they do have tools with the Mars Visage to deal with the Undying. So that's why I kind of thought maybe you want to switch it up, but with the Mars, it just makes no sense. I think TNC went for the Mars here. It's basically you want to kill the Lina. You want to jump the Lina. You want to get rid of her. If the Lina is dead, it is just over. And, you know, Hoodwink did need a blink stun initiation for the hero to really be effective, and this is pretty much it. You now have a strong lane. The God's Rebuke is good at dealing with the Primal Beast because you can stop the onslaught, and Necro comes out, which is actually a pretty good pick. If Lina deals with the Tombstone, other than the Pango being a bit annoying, this Necro is going to have a nice game, and it's a direct Morphling counter. This does put Sanctity in a position where he will have to go for the right-click build, but this is pretty much in a Lilgun's alley. I like what they went for, and this is something that they know how to play.
This is a very solid pick coming in. 423, who had a bit of difficulties yesterday with his carries. Maybe find some solace through the Necrophos. Bit more tanky. Very useful against the Morph, very good against the Mars. And of course, you can still throw in your Reaper Siphon. Pango doesn't really kill the hero, but at least you can lock him in place if you need those extra right clicks to fly in. But at least very good at just removing some of these heroes. So TNC, I would suspect Asta to have something like a link into this game. At least one Lotus Orb in the team has to kind of protect when they go in and take those fights. But looking at Lilgun's heroes, they're very BKB capable builders. They could just walk out of the arena. Bok is going to have a difficult time with Mars if he's not able to get the initiation at the start. Or he can wait his time, wait for the BKBs to run out, and get that nice little arena landed and all around Lilgun's heroes. So how do you think this first one is going to go between these two teams? Are you jumping on either train, maybe, Harry?
Yeah, well, I always do. You know, I'm never going to be letting our
viewers down.
Viewers, yeah, stay without an answer. So I'm gonna be going for Lilgun. It's a little bit tougher now because I'm the analyst, so I need to be smart. So if I get it wrong, I'm gonna be feeling a bit bad. But you know, you work through your fears, and I'm gonna say, Lilgun, I like what they got. I think that at every point in the game, you know, it comes down to TNC. They hit their timing with the items. Let's say some BKBs comes out, you have a response to that because Lina will have the physical damage. The Morphling later on in the game, Necro is a answer towards him. You have really solid lanes of Lilgun. You have push. You have farm, you have heroes that can posture aggressively and actually survive through everything. So I like what they got. Plus, this Necro will be posturing aggressively. You want to kill the Lina with the Mars and the Hoodwink, and the Necro is there. You jump in, he doesn't die, your fight is gone. So with all that being said, I am going to be going for Lilgun. But if TNC do get to a point where they can kill Necro over and over again, that front line from Lilgun is gone, and that is when they could suffer.
I also see the world, or I see like a parallel universe, which could be this one, where Asta's Morphling just smacks everybody down, waveforming in, right-clicking, adaptive striking heroes out of the way. But it has to get to that point. I'm a big fan of this Marcy Visage with 11 and Kishka, and I can see them do some great things. I would like to see Ace stay down this lane just for the first blood attempt with these heroes. Would be very strong. Well, we'll see if they do decide to stay. There's an Ops ward that has already scouted out this movement. And as the horn sounds and the bounties are spawned, I'm not going to go for the throat singing this time. Maybe at some point of the game or series. But we get our game underway. TNC versus Lilgun. The losers from yesterday looking for their first W.
I like the ward that you mentioned coming out from TNC. They understand that the Lina is usually going to be keeping the Krish Pango low, so you need to have that vision to actually not allow the rotations from the Marcy. That would be really detrimental to the health of the Pango if he would die once or twice just because of that. So that ward is becoming quite common, and I like that it's the case because it's very, very good.
Well, here starts the Soul Assumption spam. Morphling already loses half of his HP there. Can never go full Agi here. The downside for this Visage, though, he's got no regen. He's just gone straight for a wand plus 3 branches. So I believe it's going to be Kishka who's going to be providing Visage with all the necessary regen, I guess. 1 Tango remaining, gets a South with Courier.
Yeah, a couple of first levels, Morphling isn't really a problem for you. If Kishka pulls out the Undying, you're gonna be completely fine. So 11, he doesn't really mind this. Asta cannot go forward. We already saw just how much of an issue it is. And actually, Marcy starts off with the sidekick. So 11, he has the lifesteal, not really an issue for him in terms of HP, even if it does go down a little bit.
And there's a there's a real load of mangoes as well in that Undying's inventory, so he'll be spamming those decays for days. While we take a quick glimpse of the mid lane, we've got Sanctity versus Chris. 9 last hits already up on the Lina, pulling off to a pretty decent start as suspected. I will want this Pango to fight back, but is that going to be a level 6 thing or earlier? We'll have to find out.
He has to kind of keep the Lina somewhat low. Ooh.
Oh, another potential first blood. The zombie walks in! Mavis able to get the kill. The zombie finishes off the Visage, and TNC on the board first. Who would have thought?
What's the damage of that zombie? 34? It seemed like a billion, to be honest. He's under the tower extra armor.
It did.
Top lane,
I mean, they are looking for Ace in the top lane. TNC, maybe a second kills the Primal Beast, hiding in the tree line. Spear on cooldown. No, not enough mana for another God's Rebuke, so the bonk from Bok will be left unused, and Ace gets to salve himself up.
I actually thought for a second that Ace planted that tree because it was in such a perfect position so that TNC cannot go for the chase, but it was actually Carlo that plants the tree that ultimately does save Ace. It does some damage with the Acorn shot, but it's really nothing to be afraid of if it doesn't bounce. So really solid attempt for TNC to take Ace's life, but this is the thing. This hero is just way too tanky, and this is why I like it, especially with these ranged heroes in the lane that do a ton of damage, and Necro definitely falls into that category.
Yeah. No early lucky shot here for Chris, at least for this mid lane. Doing a good job now catching up in CS versus the Lina. Our top lane full of level 2s, bottom lane Visage and Morphling both level 3 currently. Might see some brawling kick off here. He's already moving close. It's a couple hits with the sidekick. Visage also throwing in another soul assumption. That is 210 damage when you have 3 stacks up. It's very painful.
He canceled the salve? Oh, yeah, he did.
Potentially, yeah. I was looking at the mid lane as well as Pango was about to fall, but Mavis continuing with the harass here. Stick charges up on the Morphling. Trades onto the Undying this time. And the jump comes in from Kishka, attempting to poke the Undying, but he's unfazed about it. The Tombstone will be placed down to the ground as well. Visage targeting the Tombstone with a couple hits, but won't be able to finish it off and just clears out those zombies. Maybe a bit of a PTSD on his side as well. Doesn't want that to happen again.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that happening again. Kishka deciding to go for the sidekick. I think it's hurting him right now. His rotation potential isn't great. And on the bottom lane, they can't even kill the Undying. Morphling right now is off limits. Even though they canceled out a salve with a beautiful jump from Kishka, it is just becoming a very tough lane for them. 11 does have 19 CS, so Visage is not being shut down, but they are not getting those kills that this duo should usually be taking.
Well, at least right now, Mavis very low on HP. Kishka in the middle of both of these heroes, and is able to finish off Mavis. Will lose his life to Asta. Visage can't find a kill for himself, but picks up the assist instead, making it a 1-for-1 trade here in the bot lane. Level 4s now in both of these cores. Visage has a good amount of farm, so I feel like this, even if they haven't found any kills, they're off to a pretty good start here for Lilgun's off lane, but Morphling's also doing a good time. They haven't really managed to slow Asta down.
Considering that this is a Morphling game where you're mid-game oriented, ultra late game it is not your game because you're up against the Lina and the Necro. So I think this is big. Morphlings usually tend to suffer in the laning stage a bit, so their timings get delayed and then they're ultra strong in the late game. But this is the kind of morph that you want to hit its peak, its stride at 25-30 minutes. Yep. And with this kind of a start, Asta is capable of doing it. So I don't think 11 is going to be too happy with how the offlane went. Mavis caught again.
He is getting poked here from both sides. Drops down the Tombstone. It is enough to phase 11 to keep a bit of distance here. Marcy clearing out the zombies out of the way. Nothing happening at the top lane. They can't really bully the Necro. They can't really kill this Mars either, so they're just happy tying up at the farm currently. A lot of traffic into mid. Power Rune spawning in just a couple seconds. It's going to go for the Lina. The Haste Rune will be secured by Sanctity.
Krish might be in trouble. Kishka is coming over. I think he knows, though.
There we go. There's the jump. Tries to pounce away with the shield crash, but no real stun duration kicking in. That is going to be the Pango being completely fine with this. Kishka also manages to walk away. Necro putting in some pressure into the top lane. Just gets speared by Bok.
Really good job.
Primal Beast rolling in though. Mars in a bit of trouble, surrounded by enemies. Not taking too much damage from Ace though. Is there a turn potential coming in with Undying, and Chris also coming in for the rotation and chasing down this Necrophos. They've got Rolling Thunder available. We'll get the stun connection onto the Necro, and that should be the end for 4-2-3. As TNC finds the third kill for themselves, and in the bot lane, Morphling 1 versus 2, fighting against the Visage and the Marcy. And jumps in and finds the Visage. 11 goes down. Asta able to take that 1-2 brawl in his name.
After you toss him back the once, and he just comes back again, keeps on coming. Asta, very nice plays from, I'd say, from both carries. Though TNC in the end came out ahead just because they made such a big rotation to the top lane. I think Lilgun got a little bit ahead of themselves, diving that much with 4-2-3 without his level 6. Now the problem comes if 4-2-3 dies again, and this top lane gets kind of taken away from Lilgun, it's gonna be a problem. But if there are no rotations from the Pango just yet, it's gonna be fine. So for now, it seems like 4-3 will keep alive.
Gonna get targeted down. It has the Tombstone, but here comes Carlo as well for the rescue here. They're gonna get a lot of damage out onto the Primal Beast. Take that one. Dabalina's coming in as well. Sanctity will go in for the Primal. Get that Dragon Slave to connect onto Mavis. Clearing out the Tombstone in the process. That's the Haste Rune used. Won't be able to follow up with this Mars any further though. He knows he has the arena available. Lina now takes first place in net worth as well, closing up on the 4K marker.
Beautifully done. That's kind of the strength when you get that first power rune, and it's a mobility
Go again. 4-2-3. Not the Necrophos, not the guy who's been already punished once or twice. He's gonna look for his second death here as Bach, Mavis, and Carlo relentless. There's even a Reaper sign, a desperation play to take down Bach. But here comes Ace with Kishka. They're gonna be able to take down Bach. And the toss onto the Undying as well. Mavis in trouble, surrounded by 2, but the pushback from Carlo, but the damage is not going to be there. He's still got a Soul Ripper, a bit of a heal. Decay up in 2 seconds. He's diving under the tower as well. Might have gone a bit too deep with this one, but at least a valiant effort with the Tumbler toy. Not able to take down Mavis.
Right now, when we look at both of these lineups, there aren't like clear objectives that any of them want to accomplish. You just want the lead. I guess the first big thing is gonna be the BKB on the Lina for Lilgun, and of course the Blink Dagger on the Mars. Before that, it's not like you're gonna be going for any towers. Right now, you can see both of the carries, they want to defend their own tower, stay there for a long time, and that's exactly what they're doing. That's why we don't see any big movements around the map. It's just brawling over and over again, and that's gonna continue unless the Lina breaks that up a bit, and again brawling on the bottom lane.
The Marcy in mid, but 11 just get hit by Rolling Thunder. Asta waveforms available. Here's for the last hit here. Chris wanted it with the swashbuckle, but the tip comes through from Asta. Like, I got it first.
Off triangle.
You thought you're gonna get this one, but Carlo getting surrounded, has the bushwhack, will be able to connect it only onto the Marcy, but the Dragon Slave isn't gonna connect at all. Sanctity can't get the kill onto the Hoodwink.
The bushwhacks are so good this game, every single time. One interesting thing that happened is he used the bushwhack onto the Necro in the top lane, and he was inside of the arena. The wall pushed him out of the bushwhack.
Oh, look at the river.
That's the reason they
Box
got so
coming
much
in, looking for the arena, but Kishka is there. He will keep the Mars away. Ace is also on the other side. You're not even going to get the supports. You won't get our Lina. Nothing for you to take, but the Tombstone does get taken out, so Lilgun scoring some economy victory here.
Man, this is just a game where everything is played around cooldowns. We have a arena, let's go. We have a Rolling Thunder, let's go. Where do we go? And nothing is based around the objectives. The objectives are just taking some damage. The first time we see now an objective being pressured, the Sanctity pressuring down the mid lane, and Lilgun coming up through the smoke. This is the first really big play.
It is, and they're going to be finding the Lina first with the arena. Bog throwing in the spear. Carlo's going to be there as well with the pushback as they're looking for the Lina kill. Chris gets killed at the same time. Sanctity with 8 HP. He's not going to be enough to survive, but the box is going to be available for block. There's Kishka. There's 4-2-3. Ace is also coming in from the side onto the Undying. They've got the urn ticking and ticking and ticking on the Undying, but it's not just doing enough damage. The pushback onto 2, but at the same time, Bog still being chased by Kishka. Kishka, look at the unleashed kill onto the Mars, and we'll be able to no, not close enough with the poke coming in, and the spear, and oh, the pause. The
best pause in the world.
The Golem is midway with his animation. Look at this, guys. I don't even want to use the word here, but he's actually pummeling this Mars near the tree, and that should be a deny. No! The sharpshooter comes in from Carlo! Oh, I thought the golem didn't even land the right click yet, but it's going to be Carlo taking the kill. Look at the bushwhack on the necro, but the heal's coming out, and maybe it's being chased away by Ace. Ace looking for the charge, doesn't quite connect onto the Undying, and now hits him. That's going to be on the run, and here comes Bok. Revenge for the Mars as well. He was bullied, but he gets to be the bully this time with the bushwhack from Carlo, and he will secure the kill. That's a killing spree for Carlo, and Lilgun bites the dust. They did get the Pango, but they paid a heavy price for it.
And, I mean, TNC, they paused there to kind of talk to those ancient creeps. Don't kill that guy, we're gonna be doing that. So in the end, the sharpshooter actually gives them a kill. And yeah, they bribed the ancient creeps. We're not gonna kill you for quite some time. We're gonna be allowing you to reproduce, stack you, and then kill you later on. But we're not gonna talk about it right now. But still, very nice fight for TNC again. I like the idea from Lilgun, but the Lina just made her presence known a little bit too early. The second that Sanctity died, there was no damage, despite Krish dying as well. But this is just the case. Carlo, with a billion bushwhacks, he's gonna be the one that's gonna be making so many issues for Lilgun. And Lilgun, when they don't have the Lina, they just don't have the burst damage necessary once they catch Carlo to just kill him from 100 to 0.
A lot of lane pressure coming out as 11 takes down the bottom tier 1 tower. At the same time, TNC trading on the other side of the map. Ace, Sanctity. They've got Kishka. They're setting up for the Morphling in mid, but there's going to be a lot of TPs kicking in. However, they spot Carlo with the ward. They will finally locate the ward location as well, but Kishka moving around, but that bushwhack comes out from a million miles, and it seems to still connect onto the Marcy. However, pushed down onto the low ground with the sharpshooter, and they're just not going to take any time. They're going to land it onto him, and a 4-2-3. Do TNC take the jump on the Necro? He's already under the safety of this tier 2 tower. Bok walking in. Soul Ring popped. Just throws in the spear and clears out the wave. 4-2-3 is just waving his arm like, thank you, come again.
Bok comes into the mid lane. He wants to catch Kishka. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I have to say, Lilgun's movements in this game have been better than TNC, but TNC's spell usage, especially Carlo on the Hoodwink, has been on point. That's the reason they're having a slight lead. But Lilgun, you can see how well they're moving around the Lina and always trying to set things up. The only reason they managed to kill Carlo there is just because of the superior positioning.
Currently, Asta is off to a pretty good game. Lincoln's is already finished. Sub 14
Arena
minutes. The Visage here, but the birds are causing some issues here for the Visage. However, you don't need an arena. You've got a cliff side that you can spear this bird on, but Kishka coming in, gets the movement speed for Visage to run away, and there's the bushwhack. Carlo will be able to catch him just in time, and now Marcy's going to be in trouble. All spells on cooldown. There's nothing you can do to run away from this. Sharpshooter loaded up, and there we go. Pierces the heart of Marcy. And you don't even hear a word as she falls down on the battleground. Carlo with a double kill on the Hoodwink.
Lilgun are the ones making moves, but TNC, not only are they using their spells well, but they're good at punishing those moves, I have to say. I like what Visage is doing. He's being very aggressive on the bottom lane, but the rest of Lilgun weren't in the vicinity. And as soon as TNC saw that, they came over, and you can see how this vision, the defensive ones in the bottom lane, is actually allowing them to do that. Visage wants to stay there, but you cannot allow him to stay there if he's all alone. And the second he stays there alone, he dies. So beautifully done by TNC, reading the situation that they can fight. And, you know, you just get a bonus there. Kishka trying to save his
the river. Manages to dodge the LSA, and Kishka still chasing on the Undying. We'll be able to get him with the Tumbler toy. Seems like Ace has been swapping it around as, oh, they got the Bushwhack coming in with the Sharpshooter, spearing onto the Lina. Here comes Chris as well for the side, and they finish off Sanctity with the Rolling Thunder coming in as well from Chris. There's a lot of heroes on the side of Lilgun here in this mid, as Chris still rolling around, but it's going to be a disengage. They buy some time for Bok to get out of there. They're sitting on reward, and they're looking for a turnaround here. I believe Lilgun, if they were to see a blink come out, they would have been ready to jump in again. However, no fight breaks loose for now. Mavis coming in. He's got a smoke. Mars is TPing in. They see everything. How does Lilgun respond? They got the arena coming down. Kishka's going to be inside it. They've got Ace here as well, but he's unable to catch the spear for the Marcy. And as Kishka is down, Ace is going to be charging out of this one, but Carlo misses the Bushwhack this time. He's been landing everyone single for so far. but has the boomerang. The fresh boomerang just picked up for the last hit, and he continues to trample 6, 1, and 3 on the Hoodwink.
He hit all the ones that he needed, Panda. That's the thing. This one he didn't need to hit, so you know he can miss that one just to just so his percentages aren't that great. TNC really good thing that they were constantly trying to defend this mid lane tower. In the end, it gave them that chase down, but this bottom ward is just the thing that is giving them so much. They're creating space right now. They want their Morphling to hit this timing, and he's gonna
coming here for the defense. Spock is charging, and they got the spear, the primal beast, but Necro going in for the Reaper's side. The damage is going to be sufficient as they got the Laguna Blade to come in as well. That's going to be another stack of the Reaper's Staff, and now they're going to be finding as well on the Undying and pummeling it down onto the ground, and they will trample the Undying. There's not much but dust left from the bones and the skull of this Undying that gets completely annihilated into the ground, and that's going to be Lilgun going into the Roche Pit. There is only a limited amount of vision here for TNC. Looks like they're not going to fight it for now. No reactions until now, at least. Carlo moving around for the triangle. We're going to let this one slide. Lilgun for the first Roche, unless Asta. Big balls play, matey, with the waveform, goes in at the right time, but that Roche is still up. The Link has popped. Sanctity will be taking it, and Morphling is in massive trouble. Krish coming in with a beautiful Rolling Thunder, though, connecting all the 4 heroes at the same time. They got the ball coming over the arena as well. They're going to be pinning down the more Necro onto the wall, and the Kish comes with 1 HP, but they can't kill them. They cannot kill them. The Bushwhack onto 2. And they get away scot-free. Lilgun losing nobody out of the team, but they don't kill TNC either, except for now. They go for the turnaround with Krish with the Diffusal Blade, the spear onto the Necro. Asta's going to be there as well with the Sharpshooter connecting. And I might have spoken too early. Lilgun losing 2, maybe even 3, maybe even the Aegis if they can catch Sanctity. Waveform is available. Kishka on the side, buying some time, wants to draw the attention away, but Bok's going to be there for the spear. And Lilgun will lose a 3rd hero from a fight which looks like they're not going to lose anything. They end up losing 3 after all.
Yeah, because they got greedy. It went in. Usually that's what happens when you see your enemies go for the Roche.
Looking for more. Ace caught, but the Bushwhack from Carlo. Trying to hide under the tower, but Chris is there. The tower's down.
This is a game of timings, and Lilgun, they understand it. That's why they went for a Roche. But then, if you got the Roche, if you're gonna be delaying the timings of TNC, why do you go for a fight? They got a little bit ahead of themselves. Every time after a Roche, you just go back. Carlo's in trouble.
Yeah, he's being optimistic. Oh, he's hiding in the trees, but the Sharpshooter does a lot of damage to the Mars. It was all just a bait. It was all just a bait. Another calculated play from Carlo. Looked like he got caught there for a second, but he plays that so well with the Sharpshooter into the trees. Scurries away. Now they're looking at 4-2-3 in the bot lane. Carlo. He's everywhere. He's absolutely everywhere. 11 shows himself in the lane. Bushwhack misses, but the Diffusal Soul is going to be there. Rolling Thunder to cancel the TP. Visage ain't going anywhere. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to hide. There's no place for you to be.
11 panicked for a second. He could have dropped down the familiar, stunned up Krish. There was a slight mistake coming out from Carlo, but as we mentioned, he uses the he hits the Bushwhack only when he needs. There was so many trees there. I thought it was gonna connect 100%, but in the end it doesn't. So slight mistake coming out from Carlo, but slight mistake from 11. In the end, it evens out, and TNC get the kill that they prepared for perfectly. They're just running around the map constantly. This is what their lineup is good at. Lilgun really need to slow things down right now, because if this continues, Morphling will hit that 25-30 minute timing with the Scotty, and Lilgun, they have nothing to respond against it.
That graph continues to increase on the side of TNC. 4K lead here with a 20-minute marker. Morphling looking pretty healthy, and all things added. We've talked a lot about Carlo. His net worth is almost the same as an offlane Visage currently. 5.6k on a support 20 minutes in. This guy is living happy days.
He's having a really good time right now. Lilgun, they need to be playing the bottom part of the map. You play the bottom part of the map if you don't want to fight, or you want to fight on your terms right now. Even though they have the Aegis, it is not so easy for them. So pushing down the tower makes the most sense, because you can pull out easily if the enemies start TPing in.
Oh, they force the TPs back. Asta looking for a chance to snipe Sanctity off of that Aegis. Hiding with a Shadow Blade right in front of the tower. You've got Kiska jumping in. Diffusal does a lot of damage. Asta looking for the kill on the Marcy with the two-man LSA. Ball coming over as well, but the Lilgun is going to be taking down the Pango at least right away. As Mavis, he's got everything put down. The Reaper side is going to be connecting as well, but the Sharpshooter is going to be overtaking the Liv is going to go down. The H is going to be hopping as well from Sanctity. He still has a PKB available. Necrophos in the middle of the fight. The spear will be landing onto the Necrophos. And here's the PKB turnaround. Asta needs to get the heck out of the link. It's going to be popping as well, but no chance to survive for the Morphling and Sanctity. Turning around with the Aegis respawn. And now TNC running out of tools to defend the tower. They're thinking about staying. They dodged the rock from Ace 12. Force up the glyph. And make Lilgun retreat for the time being. But it's not a retreat. They're just tactically moving backwards.
You can see that this game is very hard to read for both teams. When they're making a calculated play, it's very hard for the other team to do much. And TNC, they used all their spells well there, but Lilgun, they knew that they were in a good position. Yeah, but not on the bottom lane. You know that bottom lane is off limits. That's why you smoke out of there. You smoke from a choke point from yourself, and you get yourself into an open territory where you can get a kill. And that's the mid lane. Someone should be coming here from Lilgun.
Yeah, like this is a pretty good read. Sadly, the wave is going to be pushing for the time being. So Chris has to reveal, but now comes Sanctity. And under the sentry wall, right next to it at least, not directly on top of it. Here comes Ace, gonna be charging in, canceling at least the Sharpshooter for the time being, but it's gonna be enough to burst down Sanctity. Lina instantly disappears, and Lilgun, they might have taken the bottom tier 2 tower for themselves, but TNC finding the kill that they were looking for with that smoke. Now they're pushing top.
All of the moves from both teams are working out. The reads from both teams, they're very hard because both teams are actually making really good plays currently based off their timings, based off their items, based off where they want to fight. So Lilgun, ideally they want to fight on the bottom lane where Lina can stand her ground, and TNC, they want to make the fight chaotic. They pick off one with the Sharpshooter, they catch another one with the Arena, and then they just chase on forward in a smoke. You want to fight yet again. When the Lina is dead, there's no damage on Lilgun.
Do they go for the Necrophos? It looks like 423 is going to be the target that they're looking for, but he blinks out. No pre-bone coming out from the Mars to cancel the blink of the Necrophos, and Necro is out of there, and now they're looking to trap them. The TPs are coming in. Sanctity looking for the stun. Does connect onto the Endymion. Is going to be there as well, but Lina is going to be needing some backup. BKB coming out. They're all stacked up. They're going to look for Carlo and Mavis, and the Reaper side connecting there just for flavor. And Lilgun, they get a taste of the Predator. TNC losing 2. They didn't find anything with a premature smoke. And now Lilgun could just march onto the high ground as Sanctity back. And he is fully prepared for this one.
Doesn't have a BKB though, that's a big thing, and the Mars is alive. You can always get Spirit back. They see Bok, so they feel somewhat comfortable going for this. That last fight, Lina made a mistake. He didn't pop a BKB in time, but Morphling not being there means there's no damage. They force out the glyph. It's time to go back, control this area still, but it would be very important for them to deward this ward, which they're not doing currently on the side of Lilgun.
That is a Silver Edge also now picked up on the Lina, so she's got a lot more right-click damage. This is a very crucial timer for the Lina. You've got your BKB, you've got your Silver Edge, and her right clicks are gonna sting. They're gonna sting, and they're gonna burn a lot, Harry, especially at this phase of the game.
Luckily, you have a Morphling to cool yourself off with. You know, you're probably not getting to the river anytime soon, so you have some water on your side. Yeah. Sanctity is hunting. That is the thing right now. And TNC, they can't be here. They just can't be here. The Morphling or someone else needs to be pushing out the top lane and forcing out TPs on the bottom lane. If you fight, you're most likely going to die.
They've got an Ops Ward inside the base of TNC. They have not spotted this Ops Ward in the corner. So every time they come to defend this bot lane, they have full vision to fight those racks, but now TNC stacking up in the middle, Lilgun controlling the jungle. Off the radiant side of the map, Sanctity, Invis, TP, top, suspecting somebody to be there. As soon as that Lina shows, TNC might just grab the bait here and jump on someone. Bok looking for 4-2-3. And there we go, the sign's been given, Carlo moving in.
They know there's only 2 on bot. That ward didn't get rewarded, and now it gives them the opportunity to go forward. I think Lilgun this time they'll be aware.
Let's see if Bok can catch someone. Blink on cooldown. Kishka, long jump to safety. Looks like it's going to be fine.
There is a timing. there is a timing coming for TNC. That's the BKB on the Morphling. So now you could actually fight in a position that is unfavorable for you. If you get a stun on someone, they should die unless the Necro saves them with a Death Seeker.
Mavis is right there to pop the smokes on the front, but they're going to be jumping on Balk, and Balk almost dies, but BKB comes out with the arena. Necro's going to be inside, and here comes Asta with the right clicks as well with the waveform. Initially onto the Necro. Sanctity takes down the Tombstone, and they've got themselves the Rolling Thunder. The 4-2-3 is going to be going down, and Sanctity in the middle still has the BKB, will be popping it right away. Mark with Kishka dropping very low as well. No Marcy gets another jump, takes down Mavis, and now Asta getting stunned up for the burst. The burst are controlling with the stun lock coming in through. Can they take down Asta? Yes, they can. And Balk in the middle. TNC lose 3. Primal Beast frozen the stone to stun up Carlo, and Chris on the run, but the LSA stun from Sanctity is gonna be there. And Lilgun, they clean house. They take down 4. And Carlo's the last survivor out of that fight. What a fight, Harry, for Lilgun.
They expected too much to kill the Necro. The itemization is just so good on 4-3. Okay, Carlo just continues to do so well. He counts down the Marcy with the boomerang, but I just have to say, this is insane how well the Necro itemized. He survives for so long, even though they drop everything on him. But now, the base of TNC is in shambles because of it, and that's a 9-second BKB that doesn't win you the fight.
Yeah, that's like, I've seen that happen so many times. You can't kill the Necro Floss. It's a wasted initiation. You've revealed where you are. You've put all your spells on cooldown, and Lilgun can just jump the gun. It's not a Lilgun anymore, like you said. It's not like the Scarface quote about those little friends that they're pulling out. These guys are walking in with bazookas.
It's kind of the same as you know, as Scarface, because he says, say hello to my little friend, and it's not little at all. It really does pack a punch. I don't know what caliber that is, but that's pretty much what Lilgun are using, or were using in that previous fight. Sanctity just ripped apart the Morphling, and this is the thing, that this is the timing that TNC needed to hit. He went for the BKB, he went for the defensive option, and then he tried to stand his ground against the Lina. Not gonna be happening, and now I'm actually afraid if Asta, even with the Skadi, will be able to fight. He does have 8 and 7 BKB charges are gonna be important, but if he dies once more before he has the Skadi, I think his timing is just completely going to be off.
A lot of information war being lived here in the mid lane with wards on both sides of the river. Double smoke from Lilgun.
Double the movement speed, double the invis.
Yep, did not see it happen though. There's a lot of vision here by TNC. The first smoke that pops is going to be Kishka. Walking in onto Carlo. They see the LSA, the Dragon Slave fly out. Asta knows exactly where they are, and Lilgun, well, you would like to have that second smoke now.
Yep. First one to deal with vision, second one to go for a fight. They dealt with vision. It's not like the smoke was completely useless, even though they caught no one. But the thing is that you have used 2 for that one. So, you know, slight mistake, slight miscommunication, it can happen. The thing is, though, Lilgun, they're still getting better items. Sanctity will get the Skadi before the Morphling, and that means the next time they man fight, it's gonna be going even more in favor of the Lina.
Yep. Walk gets the D ward. An aggressive blink right next to 4-2-3. They are starting Roshan on the side of Lilgun. They want to make TNC walk to them. Bushwhack.
Timing.
Instantly removed with the... It was the Quelling Blade by Marcy by the looks of it.
Yep.
I was looking at the Visage, but he was back paddling there for a second. But it was the Marcy. Instead, Roshan down to 3.5k HP. Silver Edge also popped by Sanctity, but there's a sentry right in front of the Roche Pit. Necro, DD Rune for Morphling. This could be the time for TNC. BKB will be popped right away by Asta inside the arena. They're going to be taking down the Marcy instantly as they're looking for more Lilgun heroes here, but the arena's going to be running out on Lilgun. They are disengaging, but Asta with the DD could just go for Roche and take it for himself. Sanctity on the side as well. They will be spotting it, but the stun comes out with the rocks. Also flying is going to be stunning for people. Ace charging into the pit. They're going to be taking down Balk right away, but Chris, the right clicks from the Scotty. Sanctity takes him down. Morphling is doing absolutely nothing in this fight as Lilgun, they took another opportunity. They're going to take Roshan. Balk inside the pit. They're going to take down the Mars as well. Asta tries his best, but the LSA again connected. Stun locked to death as Sanctity goes for the triple kill. Carlo gonna be the next target to be spotted by the Necro, and Sanctity ultra kill No Rampage available, but who cares about a Rampage at this point? You took Roche, you got 4 kills, and you're making TNC feel very, very bad after that.
Man, Lilgun are playing this game really well. They were losing at some point, and TNC, they could have hit, as we mentioned, 30-minute timing, but literally at that point, Lilgun becomes stronger. And no matter, I think if you would give another item to the Morphling, give him a full Skadi right now, maybe even a Crystallis on top of it, he wouldn't be doing much. We saw he got a DD there. It has to account for something, you know, in like net worth wise, and it's not gonna be enough.
Just compare the damage that those two dealt. You had a DD Morphling do 4k, and Alina just did 6.2 in that entire fight. And Asda just could not find any openings on the Morphling, so you got the best possible timing for a DD, but you didn't get to utilize it. And now your entire base is in shambles. Sanctity, Kishka pushing the top lane. You've got 11 and 4-2-3 taking the bot racks as well. Kriz is keeping them away and keeping them at bay. But you've already lost 2 lanes of racks, and the third one's about to fall. TNC looking for the final defense here as well, because it does feel like Lilgun, with the advantage of the Aegis, just want to quickly close the noose and strung out TNC.
They don't even have to. They just want to end this one right now because they feel that they're strong.
They feel it. There we go. They're going to puncture the Lina onto the range tracks, but it's not going to lead into a kill. And the Aegis only now gets the pop of the sharpshooter. Kishka in the middle, forcing the Undying to go away. She's just single-handedly soloing them, and they're losing their supports on the back line. Mars is going to be taking a Reaper sight to the face, and they just want the racks. They will take the Mega Creep. Sanctity has fought hard for this and has to maybe take a final stab. Bushwhack on 2, buying some time for themselves, and this needs to be clean and pristine from TNC, but they only take down, what, 3 heroes, maybe a 4th, but they do lose the Pango, which they're desperately going to need for a push, because right now, you've got Mega Creeps in your base. You're running out of time, TNC.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim for them. The Mega Creeps are just going to allow Lilgun to do whatever they want. They could have done whatever they want with that one as well and made this a lot cleaner, but you decide to go for a fight. Lina was very low on resources, her first life just thrown away, and then again you make a mistake, you don't pop a BKB and you just die. But it is very hard to imagine TNC winning this game right now. They can't leave their base, they can't get into a better position, and if Necro is the one running in first and the only one you see, you're not going to be able to burst him down.
She's just killing Bok by herself. Like, is this Marcy giving a bit too much confidence, eh? Oh, it doesn't have any friendly units and doesn't actually get the jump off of the range creep into the trees on time. Already killing this Undying a couple of times, and now just Marcy just feels like, I'm gonna punch this Mars. Like, you're fighting the God of War, you gotta be nuts in your head, but Marcy just doesn't give a damn. They've spotted Asta.
He has a shard. Has a shard of Kishka. Okay, Asta will be okay. The shard of Kishka, I really fell in love with this item on the Marcy, just because Wildcard Gaming, their position for Alex, used it so well in the qualifiers. They got to last chance qualifiers because of that. So I really like how he used it. I'm hoping that Kishka will be able to get some cool saves, though currently in the game they might not even be needed.
TNC up against the wall here in game number 1. Lilgun, they have a major advantage. I believe the graphs agree with us. Yep, that's a 93% probability. Anything can happen in that 7%. If you add another extra 10 on top of that, that's going to be a magical number. Bok will find the Visage. That's a good start if they can get this kill. Yes, they can. Necrophos is there. The stone will be thrown on top of the Morphling and the Undying. They've got the Necro inside the arena. A lot of lags are kicking in as well, as Lina still on the high ground, disarmed at the current time, but the Morphling just doesn't die to the Reaper side. From 4-2-3 is going to be in trouble. They're going to be taking down a second kill. TNC fighting back, but the creeps are inside the base. They're going to have to back all the way back home. But it's a minor victory.
If Lilgun lose this, I'm gonna be laughing so much, because in Dota currently, you just always have to play safely, right? Even in pubs, people are gonna think everyone is tryharding. No, Dota is just like that. 1-2 big mistakes when you should be ending the game, and that can be a problem. This is the timing that the Morphling is looking for. Now he has that Scotty. I still don't think he's stronger than the Lina, but the rest of his heroes do have the burst potential to finish off Lilgun heroes now. They've gotten to a point where the Necro can die despite his itemization. So until he gets like a Shiva, some armor items to help him deal with the Morphling, it's gonna be a problem for this Necro. Right now, Lilgun, despite the 9k gold lead and the Mega Creeps, it is a little bit tough for them to end this game.
Also considering the fact that you've got 4 heroes on the side of TNC that are capable of holding the base while pushing, so you can easily put any of these heroes to just sit in base, hold against the creeps while we're pushing if we team wipe Lilgun, and you might be the ones winning the game. So keeping that in mind, might as well actually switch to the buyback status. Absolute
Panda.
0. Harry. I just heard Harry say Panda, but that's all I hear. Apparently our call is cutting out. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Does Harry read?
Yeah, Harry reads. Harry reads.
Our Discord server seems to have had a bit of a hiccup, but we're back, at least comms-wise. Also an important part of the game as well. We don't want to miss this one, Harry.
Yeah, really, it's very important right now. It's very interesting as well. We're looking to so much action. I don't know what to do from all of these kills that are happening. I'm just kidding. Of course, we're just seeing like creeps being sent like cannon fodder into the TNC's base. Okay, this could be big, but for now, I think it's only a smoke to secure one area. You have to go one area at a time.
They don't have a lot of
first one
time.
that you secure is your triangle. Yeah,
they don't have a lot of time, so it's basically just securing the triangle, as you said. Then maybe back into base. Maybe a lead on Lilgun to go away from the map as nobody from TNC is showing, except Krish now inside the base. It did spot the Hoodwink as well.
Is a preparation for the next one, or for the Roche fight, maybe if you don't have another smoke, because you have to have vision to be able to get out of the base effectively against the Mega Creeps. And Lilgun, they know that the triangle is the only place they can get caught, so they don't want to fight there until they have the Aegis. So they go for a smoke. I'm not sure about this one. If they catch someone, sure, but there are buybacks on the side of TNC. Actually, there are no buybacks, but they don't necessarily know this, right?
Well, they've got vision on Carlo. They might see Bok as well. Maybe it's in the middle. They're going to find the LSA stun connecting onto the Undying, but the BKB instantly popped by Sanctity. They're going to be holding their ground. Chris coming in with the Rolling Thunder as well. They've got the Necrophos isolated. 11's going to be right next to, but the Necrophos refuses to die. A second arena comes down on Mars, and they're going to be finding Sanctity as well. Asta's going to be on top of it. They're going to take down the lead as well. Lilgun's going to be losing 2 of their big cores right away with 11 in the middle of the fight. Asta turning into Alina. LSA stun takes down the Visage. Looks for Kishka, who has been annihilating the support backline. That's a 3rd loss for TNC, down to the 2 cores of Krish and Asta.
Base in shambles.
And their base is absolutely ruined at this point. The tier 4 towers down to half HP. Did get the cores, but you almost lost the game. Well, I'm saying almost because that's, again, unrepairable, unhealable damage towards your structures. Soon the Ancient's going to be completely open, and Lilgun might just play the rat game. Roche up in 8.
You just don't have the right builders. If you had a Treant, it would be repairable. Just that these guys, they're not really handy on the side of TNC. But that is the second time Lilgun are going for a play they don't have to make. They have the game in their hands, like they had when they had the Aegis. Could have just reset, went for the last lane of racks. Game is done now. They could have just waited for Roche, dewarded around the pit, and then went for a fight around the pit in a situation when they have better vision. But they decide to go for a smoke. They try to go for the juggler twice in a row, and twice in a row they're gonna be suffering because of it.
Where it will be judged for its crimes.
From 16,000 behind, now 7,000 behind. They've already halved the lead off of Lilgun. Money doesn't matter because the situation is what it is inside the base of TNC. Only 2 towers have fallen from the dire side of the map. 2 tier 1s is all they've gotten this game. There's a lot of pushes to do.
Yeah, there's really a lot of it to do. The only way I see Lilgun losing this game is you die, you buy back, and you go for a fight immediately after that one. I think if they play it safely, that they can never lose this one. Especially, you know, late game Necro against the late game Morphling. Morphling BKB being only 6 seconds, you can definitely win this one. And yeah, you see how easy it is to take Roche. Now you can just slowly go with the creeps. Just wait for the creeps to invade, have all the vision in the world.
Yep.
That's how you win the game.
Lina already popping the Innovis outside of the Silver Edge range. Are a bit spread out, but TNC doesn't know about it. They're just playing under vision, hoping for somebody to walk in. Potentially a support they could quickly snipe out, because all these kills, all these deaths that can cause on the side of Lilgun are seconds off of the Aegis. So all the small things that TNC can do right now, they matter.
Sanctity knows. I think he's baiting them. It's a risky play, but he's baiting them for the creeps to connect, and then when he sees someone there, then they're gonna be striking harder on this triangle. They need to get together right now, Lilgun, because the creeps are getting into the base. They didn't get in time. It would have been such a cool play.
Chris is already inside. Sanctity reveals himself right in front of the base. Lilgun with a bit of a wraparound from both the mid and the bottom lane. TNC is also back inside. Sanctity just going straight for the tier 4 towers. And here comes Bok with a spear. Kishka's coming in. Both the BKB is already popped. The Aegis is gone. It doesn't take too long for them to quickly evaporate, but the Bushwhack doesn't connect with the BKB. Rolling Thunder coming in from Chris as well. Kishka's doing a lot of damage. Bok needs some help. He needs some backup, but there's none to be given. Sanctity is down though. Asta fighting for his life. He needs to take down more heroes than just the Lina. Looking for the Necrophos here. Stun coming out. Kishka saving the Necro for the time being. Asta diving in. Looking for the Marcy behind the tree line. And Kishka's down. The creeps are hitting the tier 4 tower. Currently it's the TNC again. They have to back into the base. But they bought some time. They got the Aegis out of the way. No buybacks used. 14,000 damage compared to the 6 dealt by Lilgun.
You know, the Morphling himself did more damage than Lilgun did. I think overconfidence is just insane on the side of Lilgun. I mean, not popping a BKB there, it's not easy to react, but it's not impossible. It's not super hard to react to the Mars Spear. So a bit of a mistake from Sanctity again. I like this play I like tactically, but he's like, oh, we won this game. I don't care. I don't have to be focused. And again, punished for it. TNC continuing to punish. They're still not in the lead. But if this trend continues, 2 more mistakes like this, and Lilgun can very easily lose the game. Now, as I mentioned, I can't see them losing, but they're really finding ways. First of all, it was tactically, now a little bit of mechanically. I guess they feel like they have won. It has happened to everyone, but you need to play until the throne falls.
The game is on until the referee blows the whistle. 43 minutes into the making, 67 kills. Lilgun still in control of the game. But as we know, fate might take a turn at any given moment. Currently, TNC are winning the fights, but they can't achieve much with those victories. Lilgun knows that as well. They can give heroes, but they can't give away the entire team just to force a fight.
Yeah, Silver Edge and Morphling, he's hunting.
Sanctity here, looking for the stun here. Asta right next to Sanctity, might get the surprise. There's the break coming in. Lina's going to be taking a lot of damage. The Sharpshooter's going to be flying through. Lina has no chance to survive except for the invis. Where's your detection? No inventory space on a Morphling anymore at this stage of the game. Sanctity even revealed herself for a second. Asta on the hunt, but can't get close enough. Sanctity. Oh, that's a sigh of relief from him.
He didn't have the Silver Edge. He used the refresher for the Silver Edge. I actually thought he was going to do it earlier, to be honest, because he was dying very, very fast. If the waveform had connected, I think the hit goes through even if someone is invis. So it would be really...
They see Ace.
It would be really bad.
They see Ace, but I think they see Asta as well. Primal Beast with a lot of vision, plus the ward on the cliff. Bok's been spotted. Now it's just the Pango in the base 11. Kishka, they're both waiting on the bottom lane for an opportunity to arise. But TNC, you gotta have nerves of steel. Not the type of brain freeze you'd hope to see. Oh, what the heck is going on with the Mars? He's getting slammed a million miles away, but Bok is gonna be losing his life. Oh my god, that's one of those interactions that you just... When you see it, you can't unsee it.
I have a friend that plays Primal Beast every single time he plays this. This ulti doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Something is wrong with it because there's always some interaction that hasn't been coded well just yet, and that it is very fun to see, you know. But it gets a little annoying if you're playing it.
I've seen the Hoodwink work with the Primal Beast where you bushwhack and then start tossing them around. They found Asta! They found Asta! But they're all stunned on the spot. The Vibers are coming in. They're all going to get connected here with the Rolling Thunder. And Sanctity with the BKB needs to get away from there as well, but they did get Bok and Asta the buyback, and they need to clean house. 4-2-3 is down. No buyback available with the Necrophos, and that is something. Kishka's also going to be in there. There's no creeps inside the base for the current time, but they're going to be taking down Sanctity as well. And Sanctity's gone for 100 seconds, but the creeps are inside the base once again. Double catapults even. That's going to be 1 tier 4 down for sure.
Oh, the Tombstone is there.
The Tomb is buying time for them. The Tomb is buying time. The catapults are shooting zombies. Is this what TNC needed? It's a Tombstone inside the base to halt the creeps away. That's such a smart play. But 11 and Kiska, they're coming in from the side as TNC. They tick down at least Ace's buyback. Pushing the tier 2. There's going to be a glyph running out, and Chris is trying to defend with his best 11. Going to be caught, and that's going to be a life lost. 11 is down. Asta all alone. Ace with a TD doesn't really do much with the Primal Beast to kill the Morphling, and it's just the supports. It's just the supports, Harry.
TNC have nerves though still. They're not using the glyph at all. They know if they use it, it's gonna be a really big problem. Asta
gonna get jumped on it again. It's the same thing, but Asta's gonna be fine. Got that strength morph out just in time. Ace is running away, but look at the damage. And Kishka is doing so much damage with the Basher, but it's not gonna be enough. Asta gets the back up with the Pango with the Hoodwink coming around, and Marcy about to jump and losing a life, and that is gonna be Kishka down. Has a buyback, but holy damn, is that Marcy scary.
Okay, so that interaction happens when you use the dispose plus the pulverize. Okay, at least we know when it's happening. Why it's happening? Well, we're not so sure about that one, but we know when it happens. So at least that.
He's got the Tombstone just buying time. He's unable to clear these creeps by himself inside the base. Precious Courier gets killed by the creeps or some jungle creeps on the way. That's going to be another item missing for the Pango.
He's calling his team like, guys, I'm gonna bury myself here, so he picks up a Tombstone if you don't come over to help me, or these creeps are gonna be doing it for me anyways.
Oh my goodness. This game is quite the something. I mean, TNC's already caught up with the net worth lead from Lilgun. It's a tie game economically. They've lost the tier 2 in the mid lane, so they have a path inside the base. Still a glyph available on both sides. Oh my god, Harry. I mean, all the games.
They got the third tower, TNC. They got the third tower.
All the games I've been watching you cast, sitting with you on Discord. I'm just watching all these, you know, pretty one-sided games. Maybe 1 or 2 have been, you know, a bit of a battle for one side or the other. But right now, this is an unbelievable comeback. If TNC is able to pull it off, Lilgun, they are losing heroes again, but they take down Carlo. 11 able to finish off the Hoodwink, and Hoodwink's gone for 90 seconds, but 11 taking a massive amount of damage from Krish and Asta. The creep waves are pushed far away. Kiska and Sanctity, they're going for the top lane right now. There's going to be a Pango already cutting the wave, making sure that that lane is not inside the base. Asta and Mavis, they also got to start getting closer. 2 minutes for Roche. They're converging. Radiant scan, not going to be popped. Sanctity so far away from it, but Asta and Mavis, they've got a sentry down. They see Sanctity. They're going to spot him. Asta going to find the jump. They don't get the stun, though. But Lena's going to be in trouble. BKB popped on both sides. Sanctity down again for 100 seconds.
They're losing the game.
Oh, my goodness. This is not actually happening. Kishka on the run. Mavis, Asta, Krish with the stun. Marcy down. And that's again Lilgun with members of their team dead. And it's just the Necro up. Primal Beast gonna be coming back up, but TNC's got the map right now. They can do what they want for at least 60 seconds.
Man, when this happens to me in pubs, I just don't want to play Dota anymore for 5 days. I don't know how Lilgun are gonna play game 2.
This is a game where you just sit in the fountain, you right disconnect into console, and you wait for the enemy team to end it, because this is just this is an absolute debacle from the side of Lilgun. But for TNC, it's perseverance and looking to finish it off despite impossible odds. Well, not impossible, but at least very close to that. But TNC making quite the comeback here. Look at the first lane of Rax. They won't be able to get anything else, maybe even look for ending the game. But the jump comes out. Reaper Scythe on the one. Only a half HP ton. Marcy's going to be there. Now does the PK be able to dodge the spear? Bok in the middle. They're not taking any damage, and Lilgun's going to be losing this game at this pace. Necrophos in the middle. They're going to be taking 4-2-3 down, and TNC, they go for the tier 4s. They've got Asta leading the charge, and Lilgun, it's 5 versus 3. It's 5 versus 3. A glyph will be popped. Creeps are coming. Absolute massive waves of creeps are coming towards the base. Asta will take the racks, but TNC,
Precious on the case.
they are going back to base to defend, and they have a 15,000 net worth lead with 3 buybacks up, and Lilgun, they have nothing. Roche from 15 seconds as well. They're walking into the pit, but I would stay there if I were them. Lilgun, they're going to be smoking up with full 5 and looking for an opportunity here because they cannot wait any longer. This game is sliding out of their hands, and it's no longer in their favor. It hasn't been for quite some time, as they haven't closed out the game on time, and they find Roche. But they also spot the Morphling illusion inside the pit. So now TNC, now's the judgment call. How do we fight this? How do we interrupt this Roshan?
They're coming over. They interrupted by fighting like men. Let's go. They did so thus far.
Don't down the way from into the pit. Rasta's going to be popping the BKB, instantly bashed by Kishka. Kishka trying to lock him down. Ali is going to be there on the side as well. The Rockstar's going to be flying in as well. But Kishka, what the hell? 120 HP. Asta able to get that Roshan. 11 killed by Carlo in the mid lane, and Roche secured. They've got their shard, they've got the cheese, they've got a second life on this Morphling who has a buyback on cooldown. TNC, I think they got this now, Harry. I mean, it can't go the other way around right now, can it?
I mean, there is still that potential of mass boots of travel, and you just go for it. No, actually, there is no glyph on Lilgun, and there is a glyph on TNC. No, it's looking pretty grim right now. TNC need to pull a Lilgun on Lilgun. Just go into the enemy fountain, I guess.
Let's see what they do. They CP boots on 4-2-3. There's none on the Primal, not on the Marcy. Lina has it. Asta gonna get stunned up in the front right away, but here comes Bok once again stunned, but the Birds Morphling held in place. They're gonna get the spear connecting onto 4-2-3. They're pummeling Morphling. They're doing a lot of damage to him and leaving the Morphling behind for the time being, but the double waveform to get to safety. Krace is gonna be there as well. Sanctity gonna be getting the force snap from his ally. Actually, it's his own Hurricane trying to move to safety. Necrophos is gonna be there as well. Bok's gonna be spearing the Necro.
First tier 4
They're
down.
gonna look for Bok. Bok's down for 120.
Not over.
Bok is down for 120. 40 seconds for buyback. Mars actually has the
that
money for the
bushwhack?
sharpshooter. The bushwhacks there. Sanctity's waltzing his way to safety. Mavis. There's no decay. No decay coming out. They're going to take down Mavis. Tier 4s are falling. Asta in the front. Ancient's open. They're pummeling him down. The Reaper Scythe not enough to take down Asta. Morphling on the run. Still jumping on top of him. 4-2-3. Aegis will go down. Carlo going for the bushwhack. Trying to keep at least Lilgun away. And they are stacking on top of the Morphling. Morphling gone. Has a buyback available in 3 seconds. But Lilgun, oh my god, what a game.
Oh, they didn't. Yeah, as you mentioned, they have a buyback. It is not over. Yeah, so TNC pulled out a Lilgun as well. They went a little bit too aggressive, went for the throne instead of just killing the heroes.
This is
insane.
This is insane. I mean, I already said it. I feel like I caster cursed it right away. Like Lilgun, they can't possibly turn this around, can they? But it's anybody's game. The next one to win the team fight might just win it all again. I mean, TNC, they've got their buybacks on the Pango, the Morphling, the Hoodwink. Lilgun, they've got some cooldowns, but they're coming back up. Sanctity's got his back up again. What a game. What an absolute game. Who is blowing the Mongolian horns? Because something is wrong. Something is up, man, this game.
Now, I told Panda, come and cast Dota and you're gonna be feeling better immediately. This game is just insane. It cures illnesses on the casters as well. It is just the best game in the world. And you know, Lilgun, they clowned around a little bit. They almost lost this game. If they lose this game, they're gonna be feeling so bad. TNC, on the other hand, if they lose it, they're having so much fun. No,
I think either team. Okay. I guess TNC's like, well, we almost made a comeback, boys. But for Lilgun, it's just gonna be like a sigh of relief that we finally actually won the game we were supposed to win this like 25 minutes ago.
If they do.
Oh, this game was supposed to be over in 30 minutes. Like you said, the 30-minute lineup when Lilgun lost the fight, but still were able to turn it around against TNC. Took the base. And TNC's been holding ever since. Chris already using the Rolling Thunder.
they're there.
He's suspecting this entire move to happen. Sanctity with the BKB, able to dodge the spear. They're going for the Ancient. They've got the cliff forced out, but they need to survive just a little bit longer. TNC keeping them away. They're going to take down Kishka. Kishka is down. Sanctity's about to fall. Sanctity down and forcing Lilgun outside of the base. They took the Ancient halfway, but they cannot wait. Oh my goodness, they just cannot seem to hold for long enough. 11. The birds are down. Carlo coming in as well. They got the rat birds inside the base. They're ready to TP onto them. The Morphling Courier even showing they want to get that extra vision to see where's that bloody familiar, and they're able to get it out. No more backdoor shenanigans. At least they need to get these waves out right away. Lina has a buyback available as well. 70 seconds gone. Oh, that was so close.
People tend to watch buybacks at this point in the game, but there is one thing more important than buybacks in this game, and it's the glyph. Currently, I'd argue Lilgun are in a bit of an advantage because there's no glyph on TNC. If Lina gets into that base, pops a BKB, the throne is just gone. The only one that can save it is Bok with the arena, and currently he doesn't have it. He's gonna have one in just 25 seconds, but it is just so insane. Lilgun, they try to end it all, but next time they're gonna be successful if TNC don't make a big play right now.
Agreed. Like this is really running down to the clock. Like they could make the teleport play, but where do you TP to? There's no outpost. There's no creep wave. They might have to sneak in some familiars, but do they have their cooldown for another 30 seconds? They don't even have the burst to TP to, so TNC might just close out the game. Ancient is open on both sides of the map, and here comes TNC marching into the middle. Lina coming in with a buyback. The charge from Ace onto 3 will be interrupted enough the time being Asta jumping in at the same time. 4, 2, 3 in the middle. They're going to be going for Lina. Sanctity is down. The Lina's dead. 11 falling as well, and TNC. They force out the glyph. They're so close to victory, and they should be doing it. Lilgun, they couldn't close out the game, and TNC, they're gonna take this one by the looks of it. 3 versus 5. It's not gonna be enough. They're almost taking down the Morphling. They're all around Asta on the other side of the Ancient, with Asta just waveforming back and forth. They're so close. No, they're not doing it. They're not getting it. The backdoor protection. They didn't even get it yet. They didn't even get it. Chris as well with the BKB, at least Rolling Thundering around, but Lilgun, they were able to hold. They didn't win it. They were supposed to get that Ancient out of the way, but Lilgun, they're holding. They've got creeps inside TNC's base. We're going the other way around. We're going the other side of the map again. Harry,
I think we're done now.
Harry, I think we're done. I think we're done now. We're finally done.
Yeah, my expert analysis now tells me that the game is done. So just so that the viewers understand it, it's very hard to come to that conclusion right now. But Lilgun, they have a really big advantage. They should win.
27,000 damage dealt, but it's enough. It's enough to hold them back. Carlo dead, buying back, Rolling Thunder from Chris, but the Ancient open. Lilgun have done it.
Disarms.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't even know, because it feels like TNC could hold by Lilgun. They're just a couple hits away from taking the Ancient. 1,000 HP remaining. Chris is stunning them, disarming them, constantly keeping them at bay. But there we go. Lilgun. What a game, number 1. 59 minutes. 59 minutes. TNC were so close to finishing off the game after holding the base for 25 minutes, but Lilgun, they found the means, they found the way to hold the base, and they take game number 1. Harry, what an absolute...
Yeah, I think that is actually the good way to describe this game. I think, you have 2 points in this game. One is where TNC and Lilgun were going back and forth in the early mid-game and mid-game, where Lilgun overtook it, took 2 lanes of racks, could have went back, reset, and finished the game. And then at that point starts the completely different game where TNC are dealing with mega creeps, but they are stronger than the side of Lilgun. Then we are just running from one base to another. So, you know, analyzing the first part, both teams doing really well, moving around the map really nicely. The second part of the game is just a clowny, fun game that we enjoyed here. And in the end, you didn't trust me. I told you my expert analysis that the game was over, and you didn't trust me. You're like, I don't know if it's over. Dude, I told you. You have to believe your analysts, right?
Well, I mean, the game does end at some point. This time, Lilgun takes it, and what an absolutely insane game. It was clowny, but it was funny. I mean, yeah, you have to admit that both of these teams have, you know, being so close to victory so many times, back and forth. This was a literal base race, back and forth game where you're unable to finish it. You're going the other way, and then you get wiped as you're destroying the Ancient. You're going all the way back to the other side of the map, and Lilgun finally closed out what they started. But hey, that's just game number one, folks. So we're going to take a tiny break. I'm pretty sure we're going to need that breather as well, because I did kick in sick into casting this game. I was not expecting anything like this to happen. So we'll see you in a couple minutes, ladies and gents. Let's hope game 2 is just as wacky as the first one.